Hello gentlemen, welcome to another video. So today I want to go through a few things that are on top of my head and I've been thinking about making this video. Since World of Tanks 2.0 gave the possibility to choose a tier 6 to 10 tech tree line, a lot of new players are struggling and going directly into tough battles. There are a lot of things that come to my mind, and if I had a time machine, I mean I do have a time machine, I can actually go back in time. No, I'm just kidding. But if I could go back in time and give you a few tips, I do not want to act like I'm some professional here. If you care to have the best advice, there are many to recommend here for you. Daki, or Zanel, Quickie Baby, German Intelligence. I can't name them all. Mishulika. There's so many. If you really want to learn the best gameplay, go watch them. But I am able to give you a few advices that, since now I think I am not a beginner anymore, I think a few advices could help you if you're struggling or if you're new, and we'll just go through them one by one in no particular order. I will just go through them. I will choose the top 5 I think are worth for you to know. So here we are with the first tip. We know already that there's so many tanks, it's overwhelming, and we all know already that most streamers tell you, hey, tier 10, once you get to tier 10, it's so fun, man. Once you get to tier 11 is the same, man. No, you don't want to think like that. What you want to do is ask yourself, what is my goal? What do I want to do? Do I really want to just casually try the game? Then you can just keep the video. Doesn't matter. But you wouldn't be here if that was the case. So if you care to improve and what would be the best way, and you want to make sure you don't make like huge mistakes and gain some experience that you haven't yet accumulated yourself, but experienced players can mention, then you're welcome to stay and understand what I'm about to go. The first thing that comes to my mind is, do not jump into high tier games. That is the first biggest tip I can give you. So the best way to grow your knowledge and learn the game, there's so many basics that you need to learn first. What's the best way to do it yourself? The best way to do it yourself, play lower tiers. Do not try to burn yourself through the tiers directly going to tier 10, tier 8, tier 9, because it will kill your fun, first off, and you will just be a very, very cool, a very, very nice bread to farm for us. It's very nice. Well, I could tell you that if you go into the games like this, you will only help us boost our stats. You will not learn much. Obviously, you always learn because you're a human being and you're smart, but not all of us. But the best way is going to tier 4 to 6. Why? Because roles tiers 1, 2, 3 are just not well defined. A medium tank can definitely be a heavy, or most mediums can be fast as a light. Most tanks spot each other, only heavies maybe don't, but it is not defined anymore. From tier 4 to 6 you start to feel like the roles count. Tier 4 to tier 6 is definitely a sweet spot. You find a lot of casual players like you, and you have time to learn. Obviously there are going to be tryhards that have 40k battles and they play tier 4 and 5 and 6, and I can't blame them. There's great tanks there and fun to play. Lower tiers are fun. It's just, you will see that the more you expand, the more you play, the more natural it will be to play higher tiers. Not necessarily tier 10. I enjoy a lot tier 8. It's probably my favorite tier 8. Tier 9 as well is very sweet spot. But that's a different story. What my point is from tier 4 to tier 6, you get into the game where you can find a lot of casuals, also good players, but it's not as it's more forgiving for you. It's more forgiving, and roles are well taught by World of Tanks, more or less. Obviously it's not perfectly balanced. It's not under their control really, but you definitely, if you jump into a tier 10, you will get slapped too fast and you will get frustrated and you will quit. So once we know that you want to listen to this tip, what's next to do? Well, I would just go use any site like Tomato GG or Tanks GG. What? Yeah, or you can use Tanks GG. You can watch all the tanks, the full list and so on, and you can filter them. I prefer Tomato. It just looks great for me. Okay, I would select the tier 4 to tier 6. And I would want to basically take a look what tanks are really the best, because you won't know really. KV-1S is great, for example, to play early game because it's forgiving. You have some armor for that tier. If you get to tier 7, you start to be paper, yes, but if you get a tier 6, tier 5, you do bounce some shots, so it's forgiving. I'm not gonna go through these. My idea is just to show you where my next tip will go. The second tip that I want to mention related to what I just said, stick to the 4 to 6, okay? So that was the first tip. And the second tip would be to test roles, all roles, before you grind and buy and start to grind a single line and YOLO for 3 weeks, one line, you know, go mark and stuff. No, don't do that. You will waste a lot of energy. Obviously, it can work for some people. It can. Surely it does help to stick to one role, but early game I would not do that. My best advice, even though it might not be that mainstream as a tip, most streamers will tell you, hey, do not change role, just play one role, we will learn. It's true, it can work, but not for everyone. My advice is to learn what you like. My advice is you go change roles, you go play every role. Play tank destroyer, play tank destroyer that is armored, play tank destroyer that is sniper. So you can sit in the back, you can find easily this information. Even ChatGPT knows. You can ask which best it is for sniping, which best it is for armor, and so on. Choose 1, 2 for each, then try heavy, try the light tank. Light tank included, yes. Try the medium. Why? You need to understand what's so special. Why light tank? Some medium tanks will feel like light tanks, and some light tanks will feel like medium. But if you don't play them, you will not understand how to differentiate what's good and what map positions. Why do they go there? People didn't just go on map positions because they saw guides. They experimented and then learned and then taught the others. What works has been found by experiencing. But you need, I think early game is good to experience yourself. Obviously, you can replicate. You see a good streamer play some positions. Obviously, replicate those, but try different roles. That was the second best advice. The third tip, advice I wish I had before I started, but when I started, actually, this wasn't in game, is what you see on the screen currently highlighted, is the firefighting perk. Man, nobody really talks about it as they should, as detailed. Trust me, this is what this does. First off, you can check it out. Basically, it reduces the time your tank will burn once you get set up on fire. It basically helps you shut it down faster. This wasn't a thing in the past, and you were supposed to use almost always the manual fire extinguisher, which would instantly turn it off if you press it, or automatic fire extinguisher, you would do it automatically. It's 20k for the automatic fire extinguisher and 10k for 3k for this. It used to be only this way. People would play like this, and there was no premium consumable. So before that, people would have to use this. There were tanks known that they would burn a lot. I don't think this is loved enough. I don't see it being as famous. Some people get it, some people don't. I understand. Trust me, I get it on all tanks. I haven't been bothered by fires, really. If I get set on fire, I get like 150, 200 damage tops. I rarely felt frustrated after I started using this perk on every crew I have. There is no crew that does not have this for me. It's a priority. Obviously, don't get it on top of view range, but do prioritize this between the first skills. From my experience, when did I decide to use this? When I noticed the premium consumable is a must, but at the same time, I really was very frustrated when each time I would get set on fire. It was so unfair. It was so RNG. It just bothered me really much. First time I used it is I played the BZ-176. Yes, that tank. It's the OP tank. The tank that is like this. It has a circle like this. That's the tank. Yes. BZ-176 got set on fire 3 times in a row for me, 3 times in a row in 2 different days. So I remember I ended the day with 2. I got set on fire twice, and then the next day, the first 1 or 2 matches, I get set on fire again, and I'm like, oh no. But I couldn't play with a fire extinguisher because it would piss me off to give up the premium consumable. I strongly recommend you to use it. You will see how much you appreciate it when your fire turns off. So the next tip advice comes right on top of this last advice that I gave you. As I explained, the fire extinguisher before needed a slot here. You definitely needed always the repair kit. You definitely needed always first aid, either this or that. And you would need the fire extinguisher because you did not have that awesome skill. So meanwhile, after World of Tanks, after a few years, World of Tanks added this this premium is called premium consumable by streamers and other guys. This premium consumable is crucial. It's 10% to crew efficiency bonus for every tank. So for example, Americans have Coca-Cola, blah, 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 blah. The French people have le baguette, le croissant, le English, le tea, le brownie. Each has a different one. All nations have it, and all nations cost is 20k silver, and it gives you 10%. What this does, it improves basically, check this out. Just look how much red, guys. Just look how much red. Red light, green light, red light, green light. Are you telling me I'm supposed to play with a tank that is 10% worse and face the other guys on the field because I think I won't make money? Well, that's a mistake, because you do spend 20k, it's true, but if you're playing with this tank that is better, trust me, on the long run, you will not know how much this helped you. You will not know how many times this boost of camo saved you. You will not know how much this extra kilometers faster saved you or made you get more damage. You don't know how much more DPM you had, and you don't know, you cannot calculate these things, right? So aiming time 193, 202, 026, 025. So you don't know how much money, how much more money you would make, right? Let's say you play 100 games or 500 games with this tank. You cannot quantify how much more this helped you compared to not using it. Obviously, this 20k is always taken from you, but the amount of damage, the amount of stuff you do, maybe will bring you more silver. I'm not saying it will. Obviously, you will not make more money, or you could make more money if you play really well. But especially if you have a premium tank, use the premium. Like I used it forever, and you see I have 34 millions. I haven't even bothered to do credits today. I played tier 11, tier 10. Obviously, there's another reason which I'm gonna go into next, why I'm not losing money playing higher tier. But still, this, I always used it and I always made money. Don't be short-handed and think that if you are going to use something else, you'll make more money. On the long run, it will help you. It will help you a lot. I do trust that the tanks being better, you playing better, you getting more credits, you getting more hits, you getting more concealed, you getting more protected by the stats improve, will bring you the same, more or less the same amount of money, or money loss or money gain. So I definitely recommend you to not play without. So the next and last tip for you, pay attention every time to the store for discounted consumables and equipment. This is the biggest tip I can give you, because if you care about your economy and you don't want to spend as much for silver, definitely not, and you want to make credits, right? At the end of the day, we do enjoy when we see millions of silver, and we have this sensation that we're rich, even though this stuff is all theirs. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling to stack silver and never bother worrying, hey, I don't have this, I don't have that, I need to buy this, I need to buy that, I need to resupply this, I need to resupply that. So notice right here, in my garage, I have 851 small repair kits. I have 913 small first aid kits. And I even bought these 182. So what happens? There are discounts 50%. This costs 3k now. But when I bought these, I bought like 1,500, which would be 4.5 millions. So I invested money, right? I paid 1,500 for one. Now, each time I'm playing, I'm basically, when I'm using this, I'm not spending 3k, I'm spending 1.5k, because that's how much I paid for it. So what it's basically doing, it's like you would deposit this money and you would get it 50% back. So right now, I'm going to make silver, even at tier 10. If I use this from my depot, I basically spend 50%. So I get back my money. I get back my money plus 50%. That's how it works, more or less. Same goes with the premium consumable. I spent 10k instead of 20k. So what happens is now I'm not spending the money. So even though I'm not really getting silver back, right? It's just an economic thing. I'm not getting the money back, but I'm not spending it, which means that what I'm gaining doesn't get minus 20k, because I have it in depot, and if I would spend it, I would spend 20k. Instead I spent 10k. It's pretty simple. So I get back my money that I invested with 50%. Don't be cheap when you see those. Don't be cheap. If you have 15 millions, invest 10 of them in these, because you will get them back. you will just get them back. Basically, what you know for sure you will pay. Let's say you want to buy for 1,000 repair kit. The only question you need to ask yourself is, am I gonna play ever 1,000 matches that will need a small repair kit from now on all my life? If yes, then just invest the money, because you are basically gaining money. So this was a tip that I taught a few friends, and they really liked it, and now they're making a lot of silver. If you play a premium tank now and you have this stuff in your depot, you will stack silver every day. If you use also some reserves, easy money. So these are my tips for today, guys. I hope you enjoy them. I learned most of this stuff the hard way, but trust me, it will help you throughout your journey. Just try to apply if you're confused and you're new, or even if you want to relearn everything and you're starting from scratch. Maybe you think you did something wrong. I hope these tips help you and it will make you improve. Until then, keep an eye on my next videos with World of Tanks. If you enjoyed the reviews, please watch them and let me know. Share it with me. If it's gonna be fine, we're gonna make more videos. Peace out, guys. Thank you.